Dino Ball,
Dino Ball,
Dino Ball,
Dino Ball,
Dino Ball.
Dino Ball. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 14 of the Dino Ball podcast. As always, we're just going to jump right into it. We have a lot of fun topics to talk about right before the start of opening day this Thursday. Blake Snell, arguably the biggest free agent on the market this offseason, has officially signed 2 year, $62 million deal with the San Francisco Giants. We can finally put all the Blake Snell rumors to rest. However, we need to bring to light that Scott Boras is officially washed. He had some of the biggest free agents um, on his payroll this offseason, and they all fumbled the bag, mainly because of Scott Boras. Blake Snell fumbled a big bag from the Yankees. Reportedly, the Astros were willing to give him kind of a bag, the Angels, but no, he has to settle with this cheap deal for the reigning NL Cy Young winner. However, the Giants offseason, very good offseason, arguably the best in the entire league. Blake Snell, Jorge Soler, Jung Ho Lee, Matt Chapman, Robbie Ray, Jordan Hicks, just to name a few. Honestly, talent wise, phenomenal offseason from the Giants. But is this going to help them? I don't think so. I think their ceiling is a 3 seed. I don't see them obviously not being one because you have the Giants, like the Dodgers. I apologize. The Dodgers obviously being number one in that division for years to come. Number two, I could see the Padres maybe taking that slot. I think Machado will have a bounce back year. I think Xander will. I think Tatis will be one of the better players in the league this year. I could see the Padres jumping up to number two, especially with the talent they added. I mean, you lose Juan Soto, you lose Josh Hader, but the talent around that team is still very good. Diamondbacks, I could see them taking a little bit of a step back. I know they have great talent, great young talent. I mean, they just added Suarez, Jock Peterson. You have Corbin Carroll, you have Zach Gallen, just to name a few. Christian Walker as well. Gabriel Moreno. If they decide to bring back Tommy Pham, that's up to them. That's going to be a fun team as well. But like I said, I think it was a little bit of a Cinderella story. I could see them taking a step back. So that leaves the Giants in a little tricky predicament. Do they outplay their expectations? Do they become the 2 seed? Do they stay the 3 seed? Do they become the fourth seed? It's a lot of questions you have to think about. But in a very competitive division, they're obviously not going to sit back and rebuild. They're going to do the best they can and just try and at least make the playoffs. So I like the offseason from the Giants. I think it's good. Will Blake Snell have a year similar that he did last year? I don't think so. I think last year was the best we'll ever see Blake Snell pitch again. I think from here on out, he's just going to regress a little bit. And I think he's a Giant for probably, I think as an opt out. I could definitely see him opting in next year or, maybe opting out if he wants a like a longer term deal somewhere else. But that is my take on Blake Snell and the Giants. I don't think it does much. He gets paired with Logan Webb. That's the coolest part about it.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much touch base on, excuse me, everything. Um, Giants have a fun team this year. They do have a lot to look forward to. But speaking of that division with the Dodgers, I mean, just when you think that they're up and they're at the highest point they could be, something happened and has brought them down a little bit. Well, we'll see. So earlier this week, there was news that Otani's interpreter was fired. And he was fired because he was gambling away Otani's money. Now, a lot of things go into that, a lot of details in his contract, specifically stating that if somebody on his side was fired, right? Somebody was fired, then that breaches a contract stipulation, whatever they put when Otani signed the deal with the Dodgers. It breaches a contract violation and it begs the question of him opting out. But the MLB has actually done is doing currently an investigation on Otani. Now, this is something you don't want to see because this guy is, if baseball was a person, it's this guy. He is the face of the MLB. He is the best player in the MLB currently. And to see him take a hit like this, it could be devastating to his career. We don't know what's going to happen with Otani. We're gonna keep up to date with the stuff that's gonna happen to Otani, but currently MLB is launching an investigation on him. And this could be dramatic for the Dodgers. Think about a lineup without Otani now. It's kind
So
of
good.
it's still I mean obviously, but like it's still really good, but like you can't tell me Otani doesn't have a massive impact on the lineup because he does. He does.
And
It's
and the
still
rotation going
and the
into the future.
rotation and the rotation. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Now, obviously, he can't pitch this year for the Dodgers. He's going to be able to pitch next year. But having him in that everyday DH role, it definitely makes a huge difference. Um, does it even though they have a great lineup, does it affect them as much as not being first in their division? Does it affect them? Does he get suspended? What happens? What happens? That's the question we're all asking right now. I just if he did participate in the gambling, all I gotta ask is just why. Like why? What was the need? You're the best player in baseball in the MLB, and you gamble for what? I mean, I could understand if it's like a little bit a little bit just to have fun, but like why did you feel the need to gamble and potentially jeopardize your career? I mean, you want to have a long career in the MLB, and it just it may not happen like that. It's you don't want to see him get certain stipulations put on him, like or even blackballed from the MLB. You don't want this to happen in the face of the MLB, but here we are. We're gonna see what happens with him. But moving swiftly along to more news. Now, I know that the Mets have been a common theme on our channel
Of
for
clownery.
a certain amount of time now. Now,
Sorry about that, guys, by the way.
it I don't know why you're saying sorry because it's more news. If news comes out, we're going to report it. News, the Mets just signed JD Martinez. Now, I want to get into a little bit of his contract information. Okay? The Mets finalized the deal with him for $12 million. Dollars. It is a 1 year contract. However, the 36-year-old designated hitter gets a $2.5 million signing bonus, along with $2 million this year, and he gets $7.5 million deferred. So this is the first time we've seen um the Mets do this. Someone outside the Dodgers do this. Um,
Bobby Bonilla.
yeah. What do you Bobby Bonilla? What are you talking about?
You're a Mets fan, and I'm. That's all. Continue talking.
Okay. Oh, well,
Can't wait to put this in the edit.
you're not putting nothing in the edit.
I am putting this in the edit. You're a Mets fan, and you don't know who that is.
Okay. Enlighten me then,
I don't need to enlighten you. I
because you
think that's
want to
one of
derail the segment.
no. I think that's one of the most known things in the entirety of baseball.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Literally text any one of our friends, ask them who it is. Maybe not any one of their friends.
Well, you derailed the segment
No, I
because you
didn't.
want
I
to talk about
just
Bobby
mentioned a
Bonilla.
name. You're a Mets fan and you don't know who that is. Continue talking.
Okay.
Crazy.
$7.5 million is being deferred, and it's going to be paid in $1.5 million installments each January 15th from 2034 to 2038. Now, I like the move. I think I think it brings a lot of relief, a lot of pressure off Pete. It gives him that we actually have a DH for once um in the past couple of years. I mean, we have a solid DH, we have a guy to go to. Now he is 36 years old, and he stated in an interview with the Mets that he doesn't know how long he has left in the game. And he's just trying to play for a team, trying to compete, trying to make the postseason and potentially another World Series run. Now, I'm not saying that the Mets are going to make a World Series run, but it it's something I like to see. I wanted JD Martinez. I've been saying that it made sense since the beginning of this offseason. I wanted JD Martinez. JD Martinez would and does fit perfectly in our lineup, especially for this year, because this year is all about seeing what you have and taking it into next year. Now he's going to install some of that veteran leadership upon the young guys like Mark Vientos, who's been struggling mightily over the past year and in spring training. Nothing's really changed with him. You expect change, it didn't happen yet. Brett Beatty is another one, hitting wise. Hitting wise. He's gonna take Brett Beatty under his wing and he's gonna teach him more and more. And hopefully the two of them can learn a lot more from that veteran leadership. It's good to have that guy in the clubhouse. He's been there. He's got the postseason experience, you know, and $12 million. They're not even paying him $12 million. They're paying him $4.5 million this year. That's it. For right now, that's it. And that to me, he was an all-star last year. Now I don't know if he's gonna repeat. I don't know if he's gonna put up the same type of numbers, but I guess we're just gonna see what's gonna happen with him. Um, I do think that the Mets lineup is not significantly better, but it's better than it was before. And Mets fans, including me, I guess we could feel a little more comfortable going into 2024 because again, it's all about to see what you have. It's all that's the main goal with 2024 is just to see what you have. So, I hopefully JD imposes some of his wisdom upon the younger guys and they get better and makes the team better. That's my take on it.
Yeah. I will say I do want to give JD Martinez props because when you have first off, addiction is no joke, right? It is hard to overcome addiction, right? A lot of people suffer from addiction, whether it's drug abuse or something like that. So for JD Martinez to mention that his quote, I'm addicted to the playoffs. I've been there multiple times. Once you get a taste of that, it's kind of addicting. Right. For him to join the Mets and to now want to overcome his addiction of making it to the playoffs, I think it's really great for him to do this. And I think it's a great move for him personally, lifestyle wise, because like I said, addiction is no joke. And the fact that now he's on the Mets and he can overcome this addiction is just phenomenal on his part. So I honestly give massive kudos and massive props to JD Martinez. So it's my take.
It's not overcoming addiction. I don't look, you can't tell me that the Mets don't have any sliver of a chance to make the postseason. They
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 don't.
have they have a tiny chance, and I'm saying very slim, very limited
I
chance
don't. Yeah.
to make the wild card at least.
That's why I'm saying like I'm very happy for him that he's trying to overcome addiction and he's very.
But that's
I'm
that
happy
Matt.
for him. It's the
Of
first
course,
step into rehab. I'm happy for him.
that's the first thing you mention, you bring up because you are an active Mets hater. That's what you are.
I'm not a
You're an
Mets hater.
active
I'm
Mets
just a
hater.
realistic person.
It's not realistic.
I'm
Not
a
realistic.
realistic person.
Regardless, just so we can move on because Mets 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 have been taking up a lot of our time.
Sorry,
Um,
guys.
I like the move. I think it should have been done a long time ago in the offseason, and who knows where they go with moves after this. So
I think they
that
moved
being
to the fifth seed. It's my take on moves. On to the next topic.
well,
Jordan
yeah,
Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery, still a free agent, probably the biggest free agent still left on the market. Last of the big clients for Scott Boras. Where does he land? A lot of people said Texas. Looking not likely. Reports saying they are not going to dish out the money for him. And also, they just got Mike Lorenzen. A lot of people forget Lorenzen was an all-star. Although after his no-hitter, his stats dipped a lot. Still an all-star last year. Still a very serviceable guy. Anyone can flip into their rotation. Very cheap, too. I'm surprised it took him this long to get signed. Yankees have been in talk to get him. He's cheaper than Snell. They don't have to lose a draft pick. And also, he's pitched in the Bronx before. He was a Yankee native. He loves it there. The Yankees still have great ties with him. He still has great connections to everyone on the team. There's no bad blood. The chase for 28 continues. And Jordan Montgomery, with the loss of Garrett Cole for the first month or two, would be a great addition to the Yankee squad. Now, of course, this could be Scott Boras using the Yankees as a negotiating tactic to get other teams to up their price, which I expect at this point. I don't expect the Yankees to actually get Jordan Montgomery, but I would be lying if I said Jordan Montgomery wouldn't help this rotation. He would. Would he fill that number one spot? Probably not. I mean, Nestor's starting opening day. I'm not here to speculate where Monty would fill in if he makes a team because I want him to make the team first. But we'll see where this goes. Like I said, cheaper than Snell. That's the Yankees' name of the game. And we'll just continue on and see what happens in the offseason. Hopefully he signs soon, though. I think we'll sign mid-season, give or take.
I disagree. I think he's signing in the upcoming future, but also if he does go back to the Yankees, which I can't see a reason why he would want to go back to the Yankees. But
They were a good team.
if he does go back to the Yankees, you're telling me he doesn't go into that number one spot right now, while Garrett Cole is on the IL
No, I don't know if you just heard me, but I said Nestor Cortez is starting opening day, so he theoretically cannot slot into number one.
going forward. He
Yeah,
could
make an argument.
going forward. He could
Make an argument.
going forward. He could.
Would they want to slide someone into number one who hasn't pitched in how long? I think they want to give him time to kind of ramp up, give him some days.
That's why I said going forward. That's why I say going forward. It's it's aggravating for me because you actually think that he wants to come back.
I never said he
Or
wanted to come back.
that there's a chance that he could come back. There's no chance.
There's a chance.
There's no chance.
First off, I know your pea-sized brain can't process information when it's being presented to you. So let me back up a little bit. I did not say he wants to come back to the Yankees. I said he's still friendly with the Yankees, and he said it in interviews. There's no bad blood. The ties are still there. There's a chance he could be a Yankee. What did I say?
They gave up on him. They gave up on him.
Can't say that word. Shut up, respectfully. I did not say that he was going to go to the Yankees. I said I don't think he's going to the Yankees. It would make sense because reportedly the Yankees are in talk with him. They don't have Garrett Cole for the first month. He's cheaper than Snell, and they don't have to lose a draft pick to get him. All in all, it makes sense. And also, he's pitched in the Bronx before. His wife is doing some doctoral practice, if I'm not mistaken, and she was doing it in New York. So when she got traded with him, put a little dent into those plans so she could just go right back into her practice. That's all I'm saying. You just want to find a way to yell at me and do whatever you have to do. When I literally said it, I don't think he's coming to the Yankees, and I don't expect him to come to the Yankees. So go
I don't
ahead.
know, man.
Continue.
I don't know, man. No, you got this next topic. This is all you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because you don't know ball.
No, yeah. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
You
Go
don't know
ahead.
Bobby Bonilla and you're a Mets fan.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
My
You
turn.
should-
Can I
Yeah, no,
speak
yeah.
now?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Am I
Yeah, go
getting
ahead.
interrupted?
No, you're not getting interrupted.
Okay. Zach, what month is it?
It is March.
And what happens in March?
March Madness.
A
The
lot of
tournament.
things happened. Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
We know what March Madness
Okay,
is.
go ahead.
Thank you. Then did I literally said, were you gonna interrupt me? You said no, and you just did it. So I'm gonna restart the segment. It's March. What happens in March?
March Madness.
Yes. College basketball tournament, NCAA. Notably, I'm going to talk about the big game. Kentucky versus Oakland. Number 3 seed Kentucky, the team that has several NBA prospects, the team that was almost basically heavily favored to win it all. You got Rob Dillingham, Reed Shepard, Justin Edwards, Antonio Reeves, DJ Wagner. You have these studs. They choked. As per usual, Kentucky does this every year. Every single year they got upset. This year, 14 seed Oklahoma, they lost 80-76. Some kid, Jack Golke, no disrespect, 32 points, 10 for 20 from three, 7 threes in the first half. This guy is going to be an accountant somewhere within the next 3 years. And he just balled all over five future NBA players. That is the beauty of March Madness. Remember the name Jack Golke. He will go down in March Madness history with guys like Doug Eater from freaking St. Peter's a couple years ago. This kid is going to be a household name. I could also see him playing 10 minutes for the Miami Heat in 2 years when Eric Spoelstra just needs a white guy to shoot in the corner. That could happen too. I could totally see it. Regardless, I picked Kentucky to win it all. Why did I do it? I don't know. I should have learned. I should have learned that they never, ever win anything. They had amazing guys like Jamal Murray. They had Devin Booker. Who else went to Kentucky? I have no clue. Maxey. I think Maxey might have went to Kentucky. Um, I don't know who else. Did Fox go to Kentucky? I'm looking that up.
I
De'Aaron
believe so.
Fox. I think Fox went to Kentucky. That's right. Adebayo went to Kentucky. All of these amazing young players went to Kentucky and they never win anything. We need to have a conversation about Kentucky. What are we doing? You get some of the best prospects in all of basketball and you never win. You're about to
Yeah.
have probably 3 first-round picks this year. Rob Dillingham, Reed Shepard. Does Justin Edwards go in the first round? I don't know too much about him, but you definitely have 2 lottery picks, Dillingham and Reed Shepard. Reed Shepard's being mocked to go number 1 in some drafts. I could see him top 5, maybe not number 1. And you lose. Granted, Kentucky's very young. They're very inconsistent throughout the entire year, but the talent alone should have been there. It should have been there to put all their differences aside, all their inconsistencies, all their inexperience in a atmosphere this big, and they should have overtaken at least the number 14 seed. If they lose in the next round or the round after that, whatever. But to lose to the number 14 seed after having arguably maybe the most talent out of any college basketball team this year, it's totally infuriating. And I'm sorry to my mother, who I did her bracket for, and I chose Kentucky to win it all. That's my mom. That's my fault. I mean, my apologies.
Yeah. I think you said everything that needs to be said there. But also, I want to talk a little bit about the women's side of things. Now, there's a lot of hype over Caitlin Clark in Iowa. And, me personally, I would like to see how far they make it this year. I think they got a good chance of winning it all. But then again, when it comes to March Madness, you can never pick the best team. You can
Can't.
never pick one of the best teams because what happens every year is there's always upsets. There's always going to be upsets, and that's just how things are. But Caitlin Clark, I mean, she's the next prospect. She's going to be in the WNBA next season, I believe.
Indiana
Uh,
Fever, number 1 pick. She's going
yeah,
there.
she's going to be the number one pick. She's been balling. There's not much to say on her other than the fact that she is a literal definition of a bucket. I mean, she shoots from range. She makes a dramatic impact on her team. I think that she has a major shot in being one of the top stars in the WNBA, and it's just going to be fun to see where she ends up.
Mhm.
Just wanted to mention that real
Indiana
quick.
Fever. Indiana
Yeah,
Fever.
I
But
just want
no, I
just
understand.
want to
Women's
mention that real
bracket,
quick.
she ain't gonna win the tournament. And that's no disrespect to Caitlin Clark, but it's more so respect to the other teams in the bracket. It's gonna be one of South Carolina or LSU. I'm putting it out there. I don't know who my heart wants
LSU
to
has Angel Reese, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
My heart wants to say LSU, but I think my brain, the logical side is saying South Carolina. That's what my sources are telling me. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And we'll come back to this in about who knows how many weeks when the tournament's done. And we can talk about the winners, we can talk about the biggest chokers, but right now, tournament just started. This is all the information we have, fellas.
Yeah. Um, let's just wrap this thing up.
Oh,
Um,
okay, I'll do this. Giraffes can run up to 35 miles per hour over short distances.
why you gotta do that?
I think
Why you gotta
what?
do that? Whatever. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna question it. A little bit of a short pod today, but that is all the breaking news, all the new updates on across the MLB and the March Madness tournament. And like Matt said, we're gonna give you guys more updates and stuff with biggest chokers, who's winning, who's losing in the March Madness tournament as it goes on. But for now, we're going to hand to next week. Maybe we have a special guest. Don't know. Not entirely sure yet. But week 15 should be a fun pod. Pod 15 should be really fun.
Fun.
But for now, we'll see you guys next time.